with mass, size. It has a lot to do with just having the specific right parts. I mean, I think you can cut our brains to pieces, and there is a little tiny bit of brain that you'd have left over, and it would still be conscious. It wouldn't be doing Einstein math or anything, but I'm just saying it would be the root of the consciousness. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to go over, I don't think I wrote down. Oh yeah, it's the whole idea that we're going to evolve into something. Yeah, I mean, I just think that's kind of bogus, you know, to say that we'll just imagine the future based on the past model and say, you know, yeah, well, look how different we are from paramecium, so, you know, we're just parameciums and we're going to go into something new and completely different and blah blah blah. And I don't think there's any rational reason to suspect that's going to happen. As you can sort of see it in the evolution of a lot of other animals, they didn't evolve, they didn't change much, they didn't do crap, because they were completely functional in doing what the only thing that the DNA cares about, which is the consumption and reproduction thing. They were doing that just fine. So there was no incentive, no capacity to do it better, I guess is what I'm saying. They couldn't find a better method of doing it. They were already, they reached their optimum efficiency in performing the task. And now with humans, I mean, we're not even in natural selection anymore. I mean, we wear condoms, and you know, we have abortions, and we do a lot of things to control how we reproduce. So we're not even reproducing by natural selection. So we're not physically as evolving by any standard. It's not, you know, it's not even human selection. It's some kind of bizarre circumstantial cultural selection, if anything else. It's, you know, there's no it's chaos selection, so it has no, I don't see how it has any potential to create a better human, especially when we're not designing it, we're not doing it we're not choosing who breeds or how they breed or any of that. And the thing that is choosing is more about being dumb than smart, so that ain't too good for our brains. So I don't see any potential for physical evolution, you know, unless we get to some future date where we decide to do it on purpose. And again, I'd say argue too that we can't escape the earth thing. We can't escape what we are been built to do, which is consume and reproduce. I mean, we can pretend the DNA has some other objective, but it doesn't. And there's just no, you know, to think that there's going to be some place, something we're going to be able to do that's going to mean something beyond doing that consuming and reproducing thing, it ain't. You know, there's more likelihood that we would become more like a parasite, that, you know, more smaller and more malicious in our breeding, you know, evolving into something that, you know, I mean, obviously, if we hadn't acquired intelligence, we wouldn't have taken over the world. We wouldn't have spread our presence across the whole world. We were kind of a niche organism. You know, something like the housefly is the winner. I mean, that's the one that's you know, the perfection of the evolutionary process. You know, maybe we don't want to believe that, but that's sort of the truth. That's what the DNA wants. It wants something that just lays its eggs and lays tons of them, and it eats shit and it consumes, and I mean, that's all the DNA is interested in, is creating matter in that form. And it's only by the grace of our capacity to use this intelligence to pave the earth that we've changed that scenario. So I think it's just wishful thinking almost to say we are going to go somewhere else, or we're going to be something else, and it's going to be even grander or more spectacular or more bizarre or more interesting or more anything. The kernel of it is consumption and reproduction. The kernel of consciousness is attraction and repulsion, primarily dictated to accomplish the consumption and the reproduction. So, I mean, you have the consumption and reproduction as the primary element repulsion and attraction is the secondary, when you start adding a consciousness, and then intelligence is just going to sit on that and scheme ways to maximize the attraction and minimize the repulsion. And that's it. That's the end of the pyramid. That's the end of the, there's nowhere to go from there, except to find more and more eccentric ways to, like I said before, to rub our little sensitive nerves, to satisfy the desires that are built into us or that we contrive. And all those desires are just illusions. They're not a perception of real value. They're just an illusion of desirability. And our intelligence can know better, and it can come up with better definitions of what's desirable. So it can say, you know, stopping a person's pain is desirable. You can figure those things out and create new missions for human beings. But without the desire, there's nothing going to happen here. And the desire is always going to be contrived. It has no functionality beyond satisfying a DNA molecule's objective to reproduce itself. Objective in quotes. Alright, anyway, enough of video, I think. So, till next time.